Hi there, welcome back. Now, one of the things I'm asked more often than anything else from people who aren't in the content creator, podcaster, YouTuber space is why I do the podcast. What's the benefit? And I've given a bit of thought to that. Today, I really want to burrow into what are the top 7 benefits of being a podcaster to me. And I'm going to share them with you because if you start your podcast with these benefits in mind, you'll sustain it. You'll enjoy it, you'll benefit from it. A lot of people start their podcast for what I feel are the wrong reasons, and they wonder why they struggle to sustain or maintain it or benefit from it, more importantly. You start your podcast with these reasons, everything will be much, much easier. For me, the top reasons to start a podcast, the top benefits for me are as follows, and I'm going to give you them in order of impact, saving the most powerful for last. So the first one is it's amazing content for social media. I never run out of stuff to show or tell on social media, whether it's raving about a guest or having a quote or having something that I know is going to be a great emotional hook. I never run out of ideas because I'm constantly having engaging and exciting conversations about things that I know my audience will love. Next is I get to build an audience. As the saying goes in sales, if you want more sales, you need more conversations. I have a lot of people who listen to my podcast every week who are kind of into what I do. And yes, that does generate a lot of potential sales for me. I think that's why a lot of people start a podcast. And I feel if that's the only reason, you'll notice it's nearly at the bottom of my list. You're going to struggle, but it is an important reason. The next reason is starting a podcast is monetizable in and of itself. You can sell ads on your podcast, you can have brand partnerships. I do these things from time to time. I don't overdo it, but they are available to pretty much any podcaster, large or small. I'm going to come back to the audience side of things for a moment. I'm going to say additionally, if you've got consulting packages, if you've got courses, if you've got masterminds, if you've got any kind of product or service and you align it with your podcast, it will eventually drive sales. Next on my list is your own knowledge. And for me, this is extremely important. Somebody once said to me, your business will grow when you grow. And it's very important to approach your podcast with humility as a student. If you can do that, then it will serve the growth of your knowledge. And as Napoleon Hill speaks about in his book, Think and Grow Rich, one of the cornerstones of success is specialist knowledge. So you can use your podcast as a vehicle for building this specialist knowledge. Again, it's a long game approach, but if you want to be more valuable, you need to become more valuable. And a great way to become more valuable is to know more, to be more dynamic, to have conversations which educate you, and as a byproduct, educate your audience. Lead with your curiosity, not with your desire to show off. The next benefit for me, this is really second from top now, is authority. Authority is a big word, makes you sound super important, but really all it is allowing people to understand that you are good at what you do, that you know what you're doing, and that the world agrees. If you have industry leaders, thought leaders in dialogue and conversation all the time, people seeing that on social media, over time, you become associated with those powerful figures. You become an authority by association. Obviously, you have to earn your place. Obviously, you do have to know what you're talking about. But this is a long game. And certainly my own industry authority has been significantly impacted by my podcast over time. And the final element, and for me the most powerful, is relationships. Nothing significant changes in life or in business unless it's at the hand of a relationship. One of the questions I ask lots of podcast guests is, opportunity can find us through one of 4 main routes. It can come through outbound sales, it can come through content and content marketing, it can come through ads, and it can come through relationships. And almost universally, and it doesn't matter if they have a great big online business, they will always tell me, yes, I have all 4 of those things, but the things that move the dial for me always come through relationships. And if you have a guest-based podcast, spending time every single week getting to know incredibly smart and incredibly resourceful and incredibly connected people cannot help but impact you. If you approach your guests and your network with an attitude of service, what goes around does come around. And a phrase that often springs to mind is, friends help friends. Now, if you've ever read anything on success and psychology, you'll probably have heard the phrase, your income will rise to the level of the 5 people you spend most of the time with. And I would say the same is true of confidence, the same is true of clarity, the same is true of ambition, the same is true of any really important quality for success. And regularly spending time with people who are working hard to be the best, to improve their situation, to improve their knowledge, to really play the game at the highest level that they possibly can, that can't help but rub off on you. And it does. So for me, these are the top 7 benefits of being a podcaster. Yes, the podcast is great content, but if that's all you're looking at, there are way easier ways to produce content than all the hardship of building a podcast. A podcast is a long-term game. If you play the long-term game and you're coming from the right place, a podcast can be completely transformational. So I hope that's helped. I hope it gives you a little bit more perspective on what, for me, a podcast is all about. It's probably the best thing I've ever done. If you have any questions about starting a podcast, or maybe pivoting a podcast, or recovering a podcast that just isn't working for you, drop me a message in the comments, or if you're watching somewhere else, just DM, and I'll be very happy to speak to you and help if I can. My name is Bob Gentle. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.